want to make more than just a garden area here. I want to actually make a moment. Why don't y'all stop me and save me the hassle? You're not doing your job saving me. My name is Shawn, and 4 years ago, I made a decision that changed everything. I was done working for anyone else. That very day, I became a small business owner, a creator, a maker, and the CEO of my home in this beautifully chaotic life that I'm learning to navigate. This is the unfiltered version of my life lately. The real, the messy, and the magical parts of building something that's mine. Hello, my curious creatives, and welcome back to the studio. Today, we're actually going to be taking this outside and giving the outside of my curious cottage some love. It is definitely time to address the outside areas and bring a little bit of life and personality to it after such a long, harsh winter. It's really looking kind of awful out there, but there's always a but. I have one major hurdle that I have to take into account for this entire project, and that's one hungry little groundhog that has taken up residence underneath my studio. Last year, the little guy had a feast fit for a king. He ate his way through everything I had out there. Hydrangeas, daisies, you name it, he ate it. And all wildlife is welcome on my land. Don't get me wrong, I actually like animals much more than I like people, okay? But to be here, you've got to have a little bit of manners. And since this little guy can't contain himself, I did a little research this year to see if there were, in fact, plants out there that the groundhog just isn't gonna want. And it turns out that there are. I had some choices. Lavender and catmint are both some of those choices, and I found the most fragrant, beautiful lavender to put out there. If he hates the smell, he is not gonna wanna come anywhere near my studio. I also want to add a little bit of color onto my window area, which he cannot reach. So for that, I do have just a few little plants, nothing crazy at all. I'm just not going to waste money on flowers. It didn't work last year. I don't have a green thumb. We'll see how it goes this year. I took a trip to Lowe's. I've got everything I think I need to dress up the front. And here's another but. But there's going to be a plot twist to this. I'm not just going to create a garden. I'm going to create a storybook garden. Now, before we can start, however, there's a few things I need to do that's going to help me get to that whimsical storybook garden that I'm seeing in my head and translating it to outside of the Curious Cottage. To do that, we have DIYs that are going to help us get there. Few things we're going to have to take care of first. First off, I found this amazing table and chair when I was thrifting before we left on vacation for Maine. I paid $40 for both pieces, which is not a bad price at all. And I had two unmatched chairs that are very similar to this style. So I thought together, 3 chairs is going to be perfect. However, they're going to need a good scrubbing before I can paint them, so that's what we're going to start with. I'm gonna get the chairs out in the sun. I'm gonna get my drill out and my brush. We're gonna clean them up and let them sit and dry so that we can give them a fresh coat of white enamel paint and protect them again. to add a scarecrow just like Mr. McGregor's, and to do that I'm going to have to make an armature, if you will, to put the scarecrow on. So using this plant stand holder and a piece of wood and this nail, I am going to glue all of this together, and then I'm going to drill a hole in the base of this so that I can put it in there, make it stand up straight, and fill this all in with plaster of Paris so it can harden and I can use it. I promise it will make more sense as we go. Another DIY idea I had to make this space groundhog friendly was to make faux carrot tops. And I thought using a plastic egg carton that I lined with cellophane wrap and then put plaster of Paris into would be the perfect molds to make that carrot top. It doesn't even matter if the paper wrinkles, that just adds to the illusion. I think this is exactly what I'm going to need to start as the base of the faux carrots we're going to make. There's a little more work we're going to do to them to actually make them look super authentic. At least that's the plan, and that's what I'm hoping for. But this is where we have to start. Once these have dried and I can really start making them and building them, then you'll completely understand how it's going to work. But I do think this is going to work. I really do. I think this was the way to go. I'm gonna let that sit. We're gonna let the armature sit for our scarecrow, and I'm just gonna move on to something else. I love feeding my birds and my animals that are all around my yard. I love having them here, and I found this like adorable little, it reminded me of like the top of a fountain or something. And I thought with a coat of paint, this would be really cute for bird seed, and I could put it outside and feed the birds because I do have a lot of birds around here. Grab me a little textured spray, nothing fancy, just a little light brown. And I'm gonna spray the whole thing to give it that stone look. The key to working with textured paint such as this is to do it in layers. The more layers you get on there, the more texture you're going to have. If you try to put it on there too fast, it's literally going to slide off, make messes, make drips, because yes, it can drip. So always nice light layers. And to be honest, this took about 12 very light layers. I wanted a totally thorough, completed look when I was done, and that's exactly what I got. I actually really love it now. This is going to make an adorable bird feeder. Next, I'm going to use this Rust-Oleum Gloss Protective Enamel, and I'm going to go over these chairs. And I'm going to be perfectly honest and transparent with you. I should have used a wire brush on them. I really should have scrubbed them. And if my hands were in better condition, I would have, but I can't right now. So I am kind of putting a Band-Aid on something that is truly not going to last because they're peeling more than I thought they were. But I'm still going to push forward. I am still going to paint them, and I am still going to get a season out of them, looking fabulous, sitting on them, and being perfectly happy and content. I have had this old pump forever and ever. I thrifted it, God, I don't even know how many years ago from a yard sale for like $5. And I've had it out front of my house. It's aged. It has a beautiful patina on it, but I think it's time for a little change, and I would really like to see this red. So we're gonna go in with a little Moroccan red and give it a whole new look and vibe. I've got the bird feeder painted. I've got my cute little water pump painted red. I put a sealer on that to protect it. All of this needs to sit and cure for the night. Everything has to be cured before I put it outside, so that way it doesn't just get ruined instantly. I am really, really hot. It's just time for me to call it a day. So, whoo, big bug. I don't know what that was. He's coming back for more. Wow, There's some weird freaking bugs out there now. Can I just say that? Because I've never seen whatever that was in my life. I feel like I'm in the movie The Mist. Like, okay. Anywho, we're gonna let everything here cure for the night. We will come back out at this tomorrow a little bit earlier, hopefully when it's much cooler. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It is so hot out today, y'all. There's no way I'll be out here tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be in my pool. But now I wanna check on my carrot tops here. They should be set, and the cellophane should make it really easy to take them out. So I feel like they should come out of this and sit and cure a bit more. I don't think that these are actually ready because they were against the cellophane, if you will. It just doesn't feel completely ready. So I'm gonna pop them all out of the mold. It's definitely gonna work. This is absolutely going to be exactly what I need, believe it or not. I'm gonna pop them out of the mold. I'm going to lay them out so that they can kind of air dry, if you will, because that's what they need for sure. Yep, they're gonna work. The armature has definitely set up, so now I can actually start assembling this. And I just got the cutest things to make Mr. McGregor's scarecrow. So I went thrifting, and this is honest to God over a year ago. I've wanted to do this garden for over a year now. And I found the cutest things that I think will substitute nicely for Peter's jacket and shoes. Look at these little shoes. And I go a little jacket, $1.99 and 99 cents, so $3. It's so stinking cute though, and I thought this would be perfect. And here's my idea. Got this long stick, got Peter's little jacket, so that will like totally go on there because I forgot to be able to attach it. I'm gonna fold the little collar back, and then I'm gonna take the shoes and I'm gonna hang them off of string right below like Mr. McGregor did. And that's how we're gonna make our scarecrow. I think I'm gonna actually lower it down, leave a top so I can add a sign to the top. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, we are going to attach Peter's little stick right here. But before we do that, we have to cut it to the size we want because it has to be through the shirt first. If it's not, you're never going to get it in there. So I think just a couple inches out on each side is good. So yeah, I'm gonna cut like that much off. Easy peasy. Thought I was recording, but I actually wasn't, and I apologize. All I did is find the center and set it in with just a quick little nail. What I want to do is just wrap it in an X fashion like you would if you didn't have fasteners and you wanted to connect two things together. And I'm just gonna go over it back and forth. It's more kind of for a visual than anything else, and it is going to also help hold it in place since I did only put one nail in there. Just gonna start. Finish it off, I'm gonna make a loop, and then on the back side is where I'm gonna tie it off. Wait, I think the jacket should have gone on differently. I did the jacket wrong. It's supposed to be all around the pole, right? Have I ever built a scarecrow? I don't even know if I've ever built a scarecrow. This might be a first. Never done a scarecrow before. Easy fix. This is why we didn't use glue and put in all kinds of crazy nails, because somewhere in the deep recess of my mind, I knew I was doing something wrong. Be able to use this string again even, but I totally did it wrong. Goes like that. You got to slide it over. Yeah, that's how it goes on. Well, that's much better. Now I'm just gonna wrap it again. Why don't y'all stop me and save me the hassle? You're not doing your job saving me. Well, I don't really have anything better to do anyways today. All right, let's tie this off now that I know it's correct. I believe how dumb that just was. Ugh. Now we've got to hang the shoes, but they need a bit of weight to them, and I'm thinking maybe just put a couple little rocks in there to just hold them down, seriously. I think that's the best bet. All right, just got 2 rocks. They do fit right down in there nicely, and I think that's gonna be enough weight. I'm gonna feed it through the loop and just tie that off. So cute. There's one, just like that. I am loving this. So stinking cute. Let's go make the garden. We can at least get it ready. Even if I can't get the vegetables in there, we can get on our way. And one thing I know that we need is a drill to make some drainage holes in my little red wagon.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one who has a heart as pure, no, not like yours. Dreaming of you. 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 I'm dreaming of you. What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you.
Truth be told, it's actually 3 days later. That heat wave was too brutal for me, and I literally spent the last 3 days floating around my pool, but now it's time to get back to business. My carrot tops were definitely dry by this point, so I mixed up some pumpkin orange with a little bit of brown, and I want to paint the tops. I'm actually not even going to worry about sanding or shaping these because once these are in the ground, I think all of these imperfections are actually going to work to my advantage. So I am going to give them all a good coat, making sure there is no white left over, and I'm going to let them dry. I'm going to use this triple thick clear glaze on the bottoms of my carrots because that's what's kind of going to be sitting on top of the soil, if you will. And I just think that that will be much better for the protection. Once that's dried, I'm going to flip them over and I'm going to go over it with a totally different finish for it. But I think this is the right way to go. For the ends of the carrots, I went to Michael's and looked through their clearance section to try to find some picks that I could use from them. And I did kind of find this fern-esque looking one. And when you pull them off, while it's not exact, it does look really cute. So this is what's going to go in the tops of our carrots to make it look like they're growing out of the ground. To assemble my faux carrots, I am going to add some Gorilla Glue, hot glue into each hole. I'm going to put 2 to 3 picks in there to give it that growing kind of look. I think it's wicked cute.
Say something that will make my day, 'cause these memories of her won't go away. They're haunting me so I can't sleep. She was a pretty little liar who cut me deep, 'cause she left me here alone. Now my bed feels just like cobblestone. Oh, why did she go? Oh, was I supposed to know that she'd leave? Was I too naive to think that she'd be the one? Whoa, why did she go? I met her back in 2005. It was her crooked little smile that caught my eye. Time went by and it was her and I. She promised me to never leave my side, but she left me here alone. I know it's dumb, I still check my phone.
I love how the outside looks right now. It really looks like a cottage to me, especially one that Peter Rabbit would be in. Now I do want to still add some lights over here, like those cafe lights or whatever they call them. I do have some poles coming. This I'm pretty happy with. And the groundhog doesn't seem to be eating it because it's been days. It's been several days and everything is still going strong. So I think that was a win. Thankfully, he cannot reach up there. I've got the new twinkle lights out. I still have work to do out here, but for now, I'm really happy with how the outside of the cottage is looking, especially at nighttime when all of the fairy lights are lit. It's so magical, but don't just take my word for it. Let me show you.
Why did she go? Whoa, was I supposed to know that she'd leave? Was I too naive to think that she'd be the one? Whoa, just tell me, why did she go? Whoa, why did she go?